God brought Moses into the desert to humble him, not humiliate him, to break him, but not destroy him. And God had to make sure that the desert accomplished its purpose, but did not go too far. Because there are some people who have been so broken by life, they have no will to fight, no will to resist. So God had to see if Moses still had a little rope-a-dope in him, a little fight still left in him, because he was about to send him against his adversary. And so God breaks you, but then he begins to see if there's anything left in you. Are you with me? How many of you can relate to Moses' life? And now, in the concluding text, God tells Moses, and it is interesting to note that he only argues with Moses 5 times. And Moses only says no 5 times. Because 5 is the number of grace. And see, Moses had served another father by the name of Pharaoh. And when he made one mistake, Pharaoh sought to kill him and cut him off. So Moses wanted to know, God, if I serve you, I can't afford to trust another father and have them turn on me when I make a mistake. I need to know that if I mess up, you gonna stay with me. You ain't gonna depart from me. You'll chastise me, but you won't cast me aside. So on the 3rd time he said no, and God kept arguing. Moses got excited. He said, I'm gonna push it. And on the 4th time he argues a little more, and Moses says no, and God keeps arguing. And Moses says, I'm gonna try this one more time. And if he don't kill me, if he says yes the 5th time, that means he's a grace-filled God. And the Bible says, and Moses found grace in the sight of the Lord. That even when Moses messed up and was not allowed to inhabit the promised land on earth, the Bible said he sent the archangel Michael to take the body and said, you may not have got the promised land here, but I'm going to take you to the promised land there, so that you still are not left without a father. Even though you messed up, I'm still your daddy. Watch this here. And before I give myself, when you've dealt with people that turn their back on you, and people in the church that betray you, and are only your friend as long as you got something, and only stay with you as long as you can benefit them, I need to know, God, that you're not like people, that if I mess up, you ain't gonna leave me the way people leave me. You ain't gonna cast me aside the way people cast me. You gonna stand by me, pick me up, brush me off, and give me another chance again. Throw up your hands and say, I need grace from the Lord. I can't do this unless I have the surety of grace. I refuse to do this unless I have the surety of grace, because I am not confused. I do not live under the cloud of the illusion of my own greatness. I don't care what people say about me and how many tapes I sell. I know that I'm still a man, and I'm still subject to passions like a man. Any day now, I could mess up. Any moment now, I am beset by sin all around me. I have the potential within me to fall. I'm not crazy. The moment I think I cannot fall, I will fall. So I'm careful. I'm always worried, because I know it's there, both the will and to do. That I would not, I find myself doing. And that I would, I don't find myself doing. I'm fighting within myself. I'm wrestling. So I know I can mess up. And I need to know that if my members leave, he ain't gonna leave. If my leaders leave, he ain't gonna leave. If they stop inviting me to the conventions, he ain't gonna leave. If I never get back on TBN, he ain't gonna leave. If my family betrays me, he will stay with me. Watch this. Now, in conclusion, Serious. Touch your neighbor and say, I need to know. He ain't gonna leave. Watch this. I need to know that. I need to know. I'm ready for you to leave. Oh, you didn't hear me. I don't put my trust in men. Let me help you leaders right now. Let me help every leader here. I don't care how close they are. I don't care how long they serve you, how much time they paid. Every person has the potential to leave. And they'll tell you, I ain't going nowhere, Pastor. That's a lie. They may leave. They may feel that way now, but they have the potential to betray you, to walk out on you. And if your hope and your vision is connected in those that lead with you, you will stop leading if you base on the index to your vision on whether people stay with you. The only person you need to know that's not going to leave you is your Father which is in heaven. Now watch, because here comes the complex issue. God 5 times called him. Now Moses goes to Jethro's house and asks him permission to leave, which is unique. Because though he has the word from the Lord, he does not embark on his spiritual journey without the blessing of his earthly father. He does not go to Jethro and tell him, the Lord told me to go, so I'm going. Get quiet if you want. He asks Jethro, is it all right for me to go? And he does not manipulate Jethro with the word of the Lord. He does not try to justify the issue. He knows that if this is really God, he'll deal with my Jethro. Let me tell you young preachers something. If God really told you it's time for you to go, pastor, he will tell the man that's over your life, it's time for you to go. If he's strong enough and qualified enough to call you, he is qualified enough to bend his will to God's will, her will to God's will, his will to God's will, his will, my will to God's will. If he called you, he can tell me he called you. This is why a lot of people don't like me preaching. It's all right, I don't care. Watch. He blesses him. Moses gets his family. One day's journey out of Goshen. They stop by an inn to go to sleep. And the Bible says while they are asleep, the Lord, the same God who just said, go tell him, let my people go, now tries to assassinate the messenger. He tries to kill the prophet. It's a drive-by in the Middle East. God was about to take the chief messenger of deliverance out. And the Bible says that when he shows up to kill him, Zipporah, his wife, look at the women. Look, the women keep showing up, getting Moses out of trouble. Wakes up in the middle of the night and knows that God is about to kill her husband. And the Bible says she notices that her eldest son is not circumcised. She takes a stone and circumcises his flesh, throws it at Moses' feet, and tells God, Moses, thou art a bloody husband to me. And the God that was about to kill Moses steps back, changes his mind, and walks away. And so the issue is this. God was telling Moses, I can call you, I can anoint you, I can give you a destiny, I can give you the word of the Lord, But if you try to pursue your destiny,